You're watching News 24 Live. The World Economic Forum on Africa is taking place in Cape Town this week. It's being attended by delegates and entities from around Africa, one of which is Amnesty International. Deeprose Muchena, who is the Regional Director for Southern Africa, joins us in studio. He's going to tell us more about this forum from a human rights perspective. Deeprose, thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Before we begin, we were chatting off air earlier just about the significance of the World Economic Forum on Africa, specifically 25th anniversary. Just tell us a little bit more about it, please.
Yes. Yeah, thank you very much. As you know, the World Economic Forum is a major platform for business and governments, and annually they meet in Davos. Many of us cannot be able to travel to Geneva, to Davos for cost and other barriers. But this one is a special one, which is a World Economic Forum on Africa, which is looking at the 25th anniversary under the theme of reimagining Africa then and now. And I think it's significant because it's taking place again as a background of a major narrative of the Africa Rising Consensus, which characterizes Africa as a growth continent that is rising in all aspects of the economy. But questions are now beginning to be raised whether this growth in Africa is inclusive enough, whether the benefits of growth are being shared enough to ensure that they benefit usually marginalized populations, those who are on the lower end of the social ladder, and whether in fact this growth and Africa Rising phenomenon is addressing the structural drivers of unemployment, of poverty and inequality. And for Amnesty International, it's important to be here to spotlight the messages of the trust deficit in government and business, the abuse of rights in the context of search for FDI-led development, as well as the protection and sustenance of rights across the continent. And as a result of that critique I'm providing, we have a variety of sessions that we're actually addressing, and a variety of sessions where we are just participants trying to ensure that we deepen the knowledge, we share the information based on our research and our activism across the continent.
Okay, so now this narrative of Africa Rising, human rights deficit, this is, I take it, your sort of specialty or what you're trying to drive home at this forum. Are there particular countries in Africa where this is more a problem than others, and which ones are they?
Yeah. As you know, 7 of the fastest growing economies in the world actually in Africa. If you go to Mozambique, growing at 7% every year. If you go to Angola, the oil economy there, leading phenomenal growth prospects. If you are in Botswana, if you are in Ghana, if you are in Kenya, if you are in Rwanda, Africa from a GDP standpoint is a growth story. But what is not happening is the translation of this growth, the benefits of this growth into human development. So is this growth leading to better access to education? Is it leading to better access to health, maternal health care for women, water, sanitation services? The answer is no, because the state, unfortunately, is not directing the process of growth into these sectors of vulnerable groups. As a result, the growth for Africa might be huge benefits for business, but not necessarily for communities, the Africans themselves who are supposed to benefit. And so without necessarily turning it into a beauty contest of which country is doing better than the other, I think the whole continent, from a leadership standpoint, need to stand up and use the World Economic Forum opportunity of reimagining Africa to put in place some of the recommendations that have been coming up from a variety of stakeholders, including ourselves.
Absolutely, yes. So now, how's this being received at the forum?
I think this is the first day, and I've just come out from a session that was looking at inclusive growth. I was participating on a panel that was looking at how do you promote inclusive growth by looking at health and access to health for populations. What are the policy instruments that you need? To what extent can you promote and inject human rights at the center of health access? There was also a conversation about barriers that are constituted by technology. As you know, one of the biggest development areas in Africa is the rise of technology and mobile penetration, which actually can be utilized to create and generate better access for health rights. So we're talking about how do you lower the cost of access to technology so that communities can benefit. And our argument is that it is important for governments to become part of the equation and not leave these matters to the private sector. But at the same time, both private sector and government need to put in place accountability measures which check at every regular occasion how much rights are being accessed in each country. And this is a message that was accepted in our session. And I think, as you know, the story is going from 2 o'clock going forward, and we'll be speaking later at 4 o'clock today. I'm on a panel that is looking at discrimination and pluralism with Minister Pravin Gordhan, who is looking at democratic dividend, and others from the rest of the continent. So we hope that will be another opportunity to speak again about the importance of human rights to development.